To have been here has been a real privilege to see the fans come together, the teams come together, the level of the football that's been played, the excitement, and just a real family atmosphere around Qatar throughout this World Cup from day one has been really incredible. You know, we've all talked about the surprises and the shocks and, you know, the great performances and some of obviously the disappointments that have gone on throughout this World Cup, you know, on the field have been a real talking point. The fact that I've been able to walk around and meet so many different, you know, fans from different countries that are supporting different teams and different players. You know, you have people from Saudi that are congratulating the Qataris on this World Cup. You have the Qataris that are congratulating the Saudis on their performances. You know, we were all shocked at that game where Saudi beat the Argentinians, but where I don't think I've ever seen, you know, countries come together like we've seen in this World Cup. You know, we have seen when the Moroccans have gone as far as they have done. You know, you have the Qataris that are celebrating it. You have the Saudis that are celebrating how far and how well the other teams from these different regions are playing and performing. And that is a special thing. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I think for me personally, yes, the level of play has been incredible. And I said this at the start of the tournament. You know, before the tournament started, I always said that a World Cup at this point in the season for players, people said, is it ideal, isn't it ideal? I always was a supporter of it just because I feel that, you know, past World Cups that I've been part of, you know, I've gone from a long, grueling season into a World Cup. And of course, you have some kind of exhaustion, mentally and physically. I knew that these players were coming into this World Cup, and once they were into it, then the fitness levels and the energy was going to be a lot higher, and the level of the games were going to be higher, and that's proved right. So I think the level of the play has been incredible, but my favourite thing of this World Cup is seeing people together. Is seeing fans together, is seeing young children, you know, from England, you know, integrated with the fans from Morocco or Saudi and celebrating their success. You know, I don't think I've seen a World Cup like this before. I don't think I've seen fans come together like this before. As a fan, I'm not sure there's going to be another World Cup where you can go and watch 2, 3, 4 games in one day. I don't think that's ever going to be possible again. But it's been a privilege to be part of that. A privilege as a football fan to be able to go to so many games in one day and see the excitement and see the fun that families and people have been having here. It's been incredible. Oh my goodness. You know, I've been lucky to have been to a lot of the games. But I think, you know, being in the stadium when Morocco are playing, you know, it's a special atmosphere. It's like a home game for the Moroccans, you know, but I think to also see how the team played, you know, they played with passion, with excitement, the way they played the game, and people turned around to me and said, you know, are you shocked about, you know, the Morocco team going so far? And at the start of the tournament, if you'd have said to me, you know, Morocco are going to reach the semi-finals, would have probably said, well, I'm not sure about that. But when you are in the stadium and when you see them perform, you see how technically they're amazing. They play with passion, they play with excitement, the way they pass the ball around. You know, they're very comfortable in just playing around with the ball in the defence, and that says a lot about the team and the level of the team. So I think being in the stadium when you see the Moroccans play, the atmosphere was incredible. My favourite game of the tournament, I'm going to have to say, was the Argentina-Netherlands game. You know, for me, that game had, as a football fan, it had everything. You know, it had the drama, the penalties, the level of play from both teams was exceptional. Kylian's had a great tournament, and I think the 2 goals that he scored in that one game, I think was the level of play that we all kind of expect from Kylian. You know, whenever he gets the ball at his feet, you know, you can feel the energy in the stadium lift. And Lionel, I mean, what can you say about him? You know, he's a special person, special individual, on and off the field. He plays with such elegance, passion, and I think this World Cup, more than any World Cup that I've seen him play in, you know, it feels different. It feels different watching him play. He's kind of, yes, he's got a great, you know, team around him. He's got, you know, teammates that are great players, but he has been the leader of that team, you know, and you can feel that in every single game. In every single game that he's played, you know, he has kind of, you know, brought them through that game, whether they were going through a difficult time or playing as well as they can. I think Richarlison's scissor kick for me was one of the best. For me personally, I'm going to have to say Chavez free kick. You know, being obviously a fan of free kicks, I'm going to have to say that was a very special one. But there's been great goals all the way through this tournament. But if I had to pick two, then it's Chavez and Richarlison's. Well, I think that's the exciting part. You know, like I said, you know, we have got players that have been part of this team now for many years, and they're only 26 years old. You know, you look at the quality of Bukayo, and then you look at the quality of Jude and the players that we have coming through in our country. You know, I think it's a real positive. You know, these tournaments, whether you win them or get knocked out early, it's always an experience that you can take on to the next game and the next tournament. And I think that, you know, obviously the Euros was a huge success for us. Yes, we didn't end up winning the final, but, you know, I think the progression that we have as a country and with our national team is incredible. And, you know, more importantly, the fans are right behind us as a nation and as a team, and that's such an important part of this. So, you know, the future's looking bright. We have a lot of young players that are part of this team that have enjoyed this World Cup, but then will learn from it and take it on to the Euros and then obviously to the next World Cup.